Well, hey, what's up? Always surprised sometimes when the camera comes on a little early, not anticipated. This is a Sad Sadhguru. I always struggle with that name. It's so I'm a mass murderer when it comes to the Hindi language. I kill it all. This is Sadhguru. London was built on stolen money from India. I'm going to say at face value, yes, absolutely. But let's take a look and see what the guru has to say.
Sadhguru, talking about spirituality, and like I questioned that, how practical is it in today's world, whereas like the whole philosophy of spirituality or what?
No, spirituality is not a philosophy.
I know it's a technique, it's a practice which I also do. It's yoga.
No.
It's yoga. It's the ultimate union. Okay, so I know yoga is the ultimate union, and everything that we do as yoga is supposed to make us inclusive. Inclusive of everything. So let me finish, okay? So it is supposed to make us inclusive of our environment, and then further expanding that our country, our countrymen, and then the planet, and then the cosmos, and that it goes on. But my question is, and I want to present an example. I was in London, and you know what happens to when you are in a beautiful city with great infrastructure, you're with a couple of friends, and your Indian friends, they're always cursing India. You know, oh, this is so great, where we live is a piece of garbage. You know, and on all that, I felt so overwhelmed. I couldn't wait to get to my room, and when I got there, I was crying. I found myself crying, and I was muttering something of the effect that you know, I mean, what do you expect, and you know, why don't they have sympathy for their own land and all of that? And then I realized that identifying like that with your country, today I'm crying, tomorrow I might just punch somebody, and everybody will behave in their own way. So this kind of identification with your environment, with your country, with your religion, with your family is the root cause of all atrocities. So isn't that kind of, isn't it dangerous? Now don't tell me be inclusive but still not be inclusive.
Don't try to answer for
no.
me.
I am not buying that answer. How can you be inclusive and yet not be inclusive? If you're inclusive, you're inclusive. Or you don't be inclusive.
Well, the city that you're appreciating of its infrastructure and its wealth and well-being, for 2 centuries was largely built on stolen money from this country. Well, we should not resent our history and develop animosity towards somebody. But at the same time, it's stupid to forget everything and go on as if nothing happened. That'll be absolutely stupid. That's a problem with us. One thing is, see, in this country, what has happened in those 200 years? Don't go back 1,000 years, there have been atrocities, that's a different matter. Even if you go back this 200 years, because we're talking about London, what's happened in this country is not a small thing. 6 million Jews died. They write and write and write about it. They make movies about it. Nobody is supposed to forget about it in the world. Everybody is reminded every day how this atrocity happened to them. But the Bengal famine killed over 3.5 million people in a matter of 3 months because they took away all the food for the World War II effort. And this is not one. The governor in 1860 writes, the fields of India are bleached by the bones of the hand weavers because they destroyed the handloom industry. Yesterday was handloom day or something, yes? From 1800 to 1860, in 60 years' time, an industry which has lasted for 10,000 years they destroyed and left millions of people to die. It's recorded in British history, and in what they have written, not what we have written, because we write nothing. If we get our breakfast tomorrow, we're just happy. This is a big problem in India because we don't have a sense of history.
A history or revenge?
No, revenge is not needed because revenge will again waste your energy and your future is wasted if you go into revenge.
So good, this is what I don't get.
Now, let me finish this. About what is this spiritual process given to us, okay? The question is, why can't we be like them and be successful? See, why we are like this is because we have realized in a very profound way. Most Indian people may not know this consciously, but they know this by life. They may not be articulating this in their mind. Somewhere they know that their well-being is essentially coming from within. Outside arrangements we can make as we want, but me being joyful, peaceful, loving, blissful is most important. Well, that's why I said individually we did great, organization also we had great stuff, till outside people came who had no concern about anything that you think and feel and experience, everything was brutally uprooted, all right? I'll just tell you an example. For example, you come to the yoga center, that region, there's one police station with about 12 to 14 policemen. About 4 are on night duty, that means about 8 or 9. 2, 3 will be always on leave. I'm saying literally there's no law, it's a 250,000 people. There's literally no law at all. But still there's no crime. This is spiritual process, I'm telling you. You take away police in New York City, you take away the law enforcement in New York City or London that you're talking about, just see what will happen in 3 hours' time.
Okay, first of all, she was adorable, going on and on and on, and answering her own questions before Guru could even respond, and it was comical. But this is important. 6 million Jews did die in World War II. 30 million Russians have died in World War II. 600 million Indians have died underneath the British occupation, yet we don't have these movies and stories and whatnot. It's a damn tragedy. It's a damn tragedy. India is owed the history telling that we give other countries. India is owed the stories of sacrifice and courage, heroism that are giving to other countries. We look at Adolf Hitler as a monster, and he was a monster, but yet Winston Churchill is held up in such high regard, and he is 10 times the devil that Adolf Hitler was. 10 times. Yet Churchill is looked for inspiration. Why would I look at a demon for inspiration? Why would I look at the Demon King for inspiration? If Hitler was the devil, Churchill is the king of devils, right? The atrocity, the blood that is on his hands. This is stories that should be told. This is stories that should be told in the British Empire, painted accurately. The atrocities. It is one of the most oppressive regimes in the history of mankind, making the Roman Empire look like, child's play, making the Mongols look like mere kindergartners running around. What was the evil that was done to Hindustan, to Bharat and its people is unexcusable, and it needs to be documented. And I don't know why there's not more of it. Right? The Indians are a very beautiful people. They're a peaceful people. They are a people who have done really nothing to no one. Really. Right? Really. And yet they're taken for granted. They're pushed over. They're walked on. They're like, even when you get into the PewDiePie versus T series and you see the PewDiePie camp and the racist things they say about Indians, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't let anybody talk poorly about Jews in my presence. I don't let anybody talk poorly about Indians in my presence. I don't care if it costs me a job. I don't care if it gets me kicked out of places. Will not happen. Absolutely will not happen. I love the Indian people, and their story is magnificent. It is inspirational. It is epic. Epic. India is the world empire that is coming. India is the world empire that was. India is the world empire that we don't talk about, except here on this channel. Very, very good video. I enjoyed that. Sadhguru made outstanding points. As usual, he did.
Thanks for watching Movie Community College! Please like and subscribe. Check out my Redbubble link in the video description.